Okay, to start with, let's put them into sort of geographical position. Robots are, they have many of them are there. There are about 350 pira spread out over 300 miles of the Mersey River. If you take out all the country boundaries of South America, it will be in the heart of South America, right in the middle, right in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. Um, so, what's it like traveling in that part of the world? I can be challenging. It's gotten easier over the years with the advent of flood plans or easier ability of flood plans, but it'll take us. In the early days with the family, it was a week to 2 weeks boat trip to get into the trip. I very difficult student and require carrying large amounts of supplies for the family overland through the jungle. You mentioned that the Piraha were unusual in that they didn't want any material gift or interrupt input from the outside world. What about human input? Were they did they welcome you and your little trip arriving? They were very friendly, surprisingly. So I didn't know what to expect, but they were extremely friendly and they started responding to my request to learn the language. They found it very curious. I think they saw me as a sort of very highly trained parrot. Uh, I don't know if they thought I could understand the language, but it was fun to watch me imitate them. Do you have any sort of background? This sounds like a really tough expedition to undertake, particularly with a family or from your own family background. Have you traveled a lot as a kid? Um, what was your own story? I grew up in Southern California near to Mexican border and my travels were 8 miles to the Mexican border. That's all the travels I had ever done in my life. So this was the first travel I had ever really undertaken was straight to the Amazon. As you were going around paying this highly educated parrot, as you said, what were you learning about the way that the people lived? Before we come on to the language, I learned that they had what was technologically it was perhaps the most primitive culture that I have ever read about or seen. That they also seemed strongly satisfied and pleased. I know a lot of indigenous groups that I have met since then who are dissatisfied with their lot in their lives because they desire things from the outside world. But the secret to the pirates seemed to me to be their lack of interest in the outside world, and I wanted to know where that come from. So that launched me on a series of their culture. You were the first person to fully translate, and other explorers have picked up some of their vocabulary, but in terms of really translating the Pira language, you were the first man to do that. And through that word, you realize that actually the way to speak, the way it related to their daily life, that their language challenged the basic precepts of linguistic science. Is that right? That's right. I mean, I noticed first of all, that they didn't have any numbers or counting. and these are have been proposed to be innate in all humans, at least some sort of number system, but the Pira have no numbers, no counting, and they have no color words. Do you visit them often, or do you get out there often? Over the past 3 years, I have never missed a year with them. I spent at least 3 4 months of the year with them. I haven't been able to be with them since I just moved to the States since January of 2007, but I'm planning to go back in June of 2009 to spend some time with them. And how is it when you arrive there? Do you have party? What? Well, they all crowd around and they start asking me, where were you? You should have been there this whole time. You know, we miss you and what did you bring us? You know, I always bring them things like coffee and sugar and all, little candies and things like that they like, and we just sit around and talk for quite a while about what's been going on. They tell me about their children, and I ask about new children in the village, and um, we have a great time. When you go back next time, I'm just thinking of the big news, particularly for someone from Illinois, the election of President or President-elect Obama. Would they be interested to hear about that? No, they wouldn't be interested at all. They don't even the concept of the to have a president or something like someone who has authority over a large group doesn't mean much. I had a pira out with me in the city of Brazil once, the capital of Brazil, for health reasons, and I took him to a function. The president of Brazil was passing by, and I just said that's you know, the person who tells all other Brazilians what to do, trying to get across the right. Is there a place where we can have lunch? They were completely uninterested. That's all done for the moment. Thank you very much, Edith. And Dan's book, Don't Sleep There, are snacks. Is radio for book of the week for Monday, the 7th November.